Hi everyone, Mark Jones, Managing Director at Your Digital Solution. I'm here with...
Blake from RealBytes, National Operations Manager for everything digital and IT.
Wonderful. We're here today to talk about...
Your website, is it costing you business?
Is it costing you business? Is it costing your business?
Is it costing your business, your businesses, you know?
Any of those things. Well, absolutely, it is a cost, but it really should be an investment. And most of the people I meet in my world, which is I need a new website, or I have a website, or I'm sick of my developer, I need someone to help me with it, they talk about the whole thing like it's a sunk expense.
It's not. It's absolutely not, is it?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be. It can be at the start when you've got a weak marketing muscle and you don't know what you're doing with it.
I'm glad you come in at the front of websites. We always come at the end of websites when they've been hacked, the Chinese Communist Party's in there with some feelers and stuff. You know, I shouldn't say that on a podcast, but we always come at the other end. So I'd love to know how it works at your end, on how we could do this better and to make that total cost of ownership much more.
There's a couple of numbers that I guess people find scary. One is, what is the average spend of an Australian business on their marketing overall? All sectors, all industries, all sizes. The average spend on marketing is 5.7% of gross turnover.
Wow.
It's a huge number. We would never meet anyone really at the outset more than 1%, but they expect to get typical benchmark growth for that. And so I think expectations being tied and being in line with the investment. And then you think about, well, who in the business is responsible for what's going to be on that website? And some of our listeners will be from the Office Professionals organisation, and we know that they are going to be the ones who are tasked with this job. But if you're not a marketer and you're not familiar with the skills and the tools, that's quite a challenge. Well, how much should I spend? So it is costing me, but is that too much, too little? How much should I spend? And we have a whole bunch of benchmarks around that that help us know if we're getting, I guess, a fair return on that investment. But I think when you meet people, if the whole house is burning down and it's on the floor in ashes,
that's right.
How much do people?
What's
it cost them then?
We had a customer that came to us from another provider just the other week, and we had to go do an audit for this website, very e-commerce website. Went through $5,000, didn't even break the cover when we found out that invoices have been going out to a private third party. Now, what a risk that is.
Yeah, right.
And that could have been avoided with a bit of maintenance, a bit of TLC, a bit of love and care up front, and someone looking after, or empowering these executive assistants, office managers, business managers looking after these sites with the ability to actually go in and understand what's there and support them in that.
Yeah. We've had two really funny cases, not funny actually, funny, not ha-ha. One was a school group, an organics organisation running a school's website that got hacked by a Chinese porn company.
Wow,
and
not good.
Still delivering under the URL of the school, this sort of educational aspect, and then selling Viagra off the back end of that. So that was quite probably a good business, I guess. But you just don't know what's happening in the background.
Yeah.
And what they needed was a good IT provider who could have then said, hey, you're a little minnow of a website, but your traffic is that of a major...
That's right, it can be such this tiny, small business website, but the people they interact with and the traffic they get, and very important. Who's looking at it? A school is a very important one. Like, your clientele is mum, dad, kids. That's a big risk. Right? You need to be protected and secure.
And one of the other things that occurs to me also is, when you and I came along today, we thought about what we would wear. We thought about, when I did...
I didn't. But these are my love shirts. I love these shirts. This is.
Tell me about your shirt.
These are the trademark shirts. These are a bunch of awesome guys out of here in Brisbane as well, and it's all about a conversation starter, which I guess is what we're doing here today.
There you go.
We're having conversations, marketing, IT, digital.
Yeah, all in the trademark shirt.
All in the trademark
helping
shirt.
men have those important conversations. Well, we thought about what we were going to wear.
We did.
What I find interesting is when you look at people's websites that represent their business, and you think of how little they actually invest in those and how little thought actually goes into what that website should say, who it's saying it to, what they want that person to do.
It is that T-shirt. It's that front-facing, to your business. It's how you can see and tell what you think a person's going to be like.
Yeah,
right? It's important.
Is that impression, right?
What is that impression? Is it a good, bad? Is it slow? Is it,
reinforcing it, or is it actually tearing it apart? And I think a good test for that helps when we ask a business owner is, are you proud of your website? Are you eager to show your website to everybody you can, believing that will increase the likelihood of them wanting to deal with you?
Does it show your values? Does it show your mission statement? Does it show your environmental goals? Like I know we've worked together and some of those really important things to us as a company, we've now gone and classed on our website. It's such an important thing to show everybody else that we get to deal with that we care about these things.
That's true. What are some of those things you've done? Because you've done the environmental
sustainability.
work.
Yep. So we partnered with Cisco, who's one of our lovely partners, to really look at that whole life cycle approach to not just IT and digital, but hardware, those things sitting in cupboards, computers, and it's just a really good showcase for our site and to show people that they can do these things, and that's what it should be. Your website should be this showcase of you as a business, your mission statement. I think it's really important, and SEO comes off the back of that as well, because obviously you do a fair bit in SEO, but what does SEO actually mean?
Organic search is when we're talking about how Google knows which site to offer to a user when they search in Google for a topic.
So IT Services Brisbane, we show up.
Perfect.
Yep.
Now, IT Services Brisbane, that phrase needs to be used in a certain number of ways on your website to give an indication to Google that that's mostly what you're about. And there's a bunch of other stuff that hangs off that, like how fast the website is to load. There's technical measures.
Yep.
There's who links to you measures. And there's also how long people stay on the site. Yep. So if your site doesn't keep people around, Google thinks you're a low quality site.
I guess that SEO is very important then to target exactly who you're looking to come to your website and to see you as a business. So, it's got all of that stuff in there. It's not just keywords, it's the way it looks and everything too, I guess, as well.
A little bit of that, and there's also elements of what are we going to write about on the site. We actually start with what keywords do people in our industry or looking for our industry use, and then we actually write for that. So we almost can use what are people already asking, use that as a guide to think about what things do we try and answer when we put our site together.
So what's a good one for like an office professional to go and look at their website? What's something they can look at for their SEO, or they should be asking questions like?
I think actually one of the most important ones would be a healthy website should be getting more than 50% of your traffic from organic search. So for that, you might need your marketing person or an IT person to help you just see where your traffic comes from to your site. So one of the great things about digital marketing is, if anything, we've got too much data.
Yep.
So you can ask this question, it's one of the most rudimentary ones, but it'll give you an indication of, is Google clear on who you are and what you're about? And do people, when they're looking for those things, find you? Or are they finding your competitor?
Yep.
So that means we don't want everyone driving past you. We want them stopping and pulling into your business to find out more about what you do.
That's really cool. I never even thought about it like that, so that's why you're the marketing expert and I'm over here in IT land. I get it.
Well, IT plays a massive role.
It does.
So the speed of the site delivering, how the page lays out. Does it work on mobile? In fact,
because most of my searches now as a professional still off my mobile. I'm not sitting behind a desk. So
if you're running Facebook or Google ads, you'll often find the percentage of users coming through to your website, over 80% will be on a mobile. Yep. So if you have a minute now, people listening,
all those bloody buttons, like all these websites that don't just have contact us and you can't just click it. That's a big important one for people. They need to go and look at their website on a mobile, I'd say. Do you look at your website on a mobile?
Absolutely.
Yeah. First
place you should look, and it's true that when we're working in our offices at our desks, it's quick and easy to bring it up on the PC. But look at it on your mobile and try and call yourself. Click your number and make sure it actually works.
The amount of times I've had to go on a website and fix up the phone call button, and someone goes to me, "Oh, how long has that been broken for?" I don't know. I've just taken over. So you could be losing leads, since that site's been built.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing we see is, do I need a website? Well, can't I just have a Facebook page? Can't I just have a LinkedIn profile? The thing that a website gives you is persistent information. You control the message. And if the rules on Facebook or LinkedIn change, you don't suddenly lose all your work. Yep. You can actually control that it's going to still be there persistently. Absolutely. Your investment is there. The thing we do see is a problem. People hang on to them far too long.
Yeah, they don't go through that life cycle like they would on Facebook or LinkedIn or that. And a website is an evolving thing. It needs to be looked at every year, you know, and gone through.
Well, your accountant writes it off over 3 years, but we literally will find people who will have their website for 10 to 15 years, just struggling. You'd see them. We had a client together, didn't we?
We did.
That client who just the updates, and it was so old you couldn't even update it anymore.
And we just had to start from scratch then, which was no good because that customer's built this big rapport and everything, and it felt like family to them. Like, what do you mean I've got to start again? Well, unfortunately, you've let it go for this long. But you know, just some really simple things. Jump on there, help. You know, ask for help and go through it with someone. Do some auditing on it. You know,
super easy. The audit tools are quick and easy to run. The other thing is add to it. One of the really good ways to tell Google you're a reliable company is how long you've been there, but also how frequently you're updated. Yep. And I'd extend that to your Google business profile.
Yeah, so these office admins and assistants could be doing like blogs on what the company's doing, some of the around that mission statement, what they've done this month, what their staff have been doing. It's really simple stuff that doesn't take much time. They use that AI that we've talked about before to push out a little bit of content and keep it updating, and that's a really valuable portion of that business as well.
Yeah. What do you find, is there stuff in the hosting world you'd give people as things to look for?
We find now we want to bring everything back to sovereign land. It's a really weird thing. 20 years ago, people go out to like TPP Wholesale or these really big guys. They didn't care where they put their website. Now we're finding you really want to put it somewhere here based in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, because the AI and everything's behind it is looking at that. Where is your website sitting? Who's it sitting with? Is it secure? And even from an email and marketing and all that, a lot less bounces. And also you can pick the phone up and talk to somebody. That's the biggest thing. We had a mutual customer a couple of weeks ago, I think, had some issues and whatnot, and just out of business, and you can't get a hold of anybody. And it's a big faceless corporation. So it's things to think about, like where is your website sitting? Who's looking after it? Do you have the passwords to it? If someone else looks after it on behalf of you, do you also have a login? Like, you know, it is yours. It's your brand and identity.
Can we touch on that quickly? Because office professionals are often the people that are given the task of registering a domain name.
Absolutely.
Can you talk to how quickly that can unravel and create such a major problem if domain names
Can we
not renewed?
Can we not talk to that? Oh, I can.
Can you do it without getting a twitch?
Oh, absolutely. One of the key things in the world is these people, where you buy your domain and your DNS, and I'm going to try to talk not technically. That's a giant phone book on the internet where the things look up where it is. If you don't pay that bill and that voids, everything stops. It's like your world comes crashing to an end. You're in an ambulance heading towards the hospital. Okay, so I guess when we're talking domains, DNS hosting, all these big buzzwords, I just learned a great metaphor. I'm going to use it. So how good is that? Your domain and hosting. Your hosting is like your house. It's the physical thing where everything sits inside. Your domain is your street number, sitting right out on the front there, number 5 Privet Court, Sydney, etc. Your email is obviously like your old school letterbox. You get that in, or SMS these days. Everyone knows what email is, otherwise we'd be worried. But all of it together puts together a full package to say, my house is in this suburb, in this street, this is how you get to it, this is how I know where it is. And of course, you want that nice fence around it. So you want that security, and you want to know that, you know, you paying your rates and everything, that's my house, I can look after it.
So when I type in that little web address,
absolutely,
it knows where to find that house. I'm going to go Google 5 Privet Street soon and just see who lived there, or maybe that was where you lived as a kid.
No, I don't know. They come out of the cuff anyway. There you go. But what a great metaphor. I'm going to have to use that more. Yeah, good. But yeah, it's about, like in IT we talk about crown jewels, right? And you talk about your house as, you know, a crown and glory and stuff as well. So your domain and your hosting, your DNS is the same thing. It is yours. You need to know how it works, where it puts together, and where it's living.
So what should people do? Should they have a register of that? Should they make sure their IT provider has that? Are there fallbacks to make sure there are other people being alerted?
We found, and I might be a little bit biased, but we found since starting with some new customers that have come from us that were managing themselves, it's a lot easier for them because we look after it holistically. We give reports on how the health's going and what's going on, but we also give them access. It's theirs at the end of the day. But as a business, you should keep an independent register of not just your domain, your hosting, your DNS, all of your software, everything like that. Really simple stuff, because it's not when you need it, it's, you know, you want it before. So
where's that live? Who looks after that in my business? Who do I give that job to?
Funnily enough, it's usually the people I think we're talking to at the moment. It's the executive assistants, it's the business managers. It might be the internal IT guy, but, you know, it's a joint ownership. I think more than one person has to own that. I think it's important that more than one person knows those keys to the kingdom. It's like a passcode on your phone, right? If only you know it, something happens, we're in big danger.
That ICE. Very good. So a couple of the key points then about, what's a website costing you. Firstly, do you have one and are you proud of it? If you're using it, then it's delivering value back.
Do you want to show it off?
Yeah, if you're not showing it off, then what's the point of that flash car you keep in the garage?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from a security side, it's know where the keys to your kingdom live, and that's pretty important. And if you don't, go and find out.
Yeah.